Hello everyone and welcome back to the show. I'm Luca Gelmini and thank you for joining us. Today I'm brought to you by Dr. Mariam, the founder and creator of BLA Fit. BLA Fit is a all-natural, non-invasive facial exercise device that's supposed to help you look your best, feel your best, and all of it without any nasty injections or expensive treatments like that. So thank you for coming.
Thank you, Luca. Good morning, everybody. I'm Dr. Mariam Bakhtiari, the founder of BLA Fit. My practice of 27 years has been focused in the fields of orthodontics, TMJ, and sleep apnea. And for years and years and years, I've made custom-built orthotics for patients that have problems, misalignment of the jaw, jaw pain, and have sleep apnea. And I learned that even though we created beautiful broad smiles, they still didn't have a beautiful facial tone. And why not working our face? Mm-hmm. We're doing all day long, working in the rest of our body, all the advertisements of the places that you go work out and fitness clubs and all that, but nobody's talking about face. And just recently, Luca, I felt like there's more awareness about face gym, mm-hmm. and it's more about massaging your face or doing face yoga, but I don't think there's anything like BLA Fit out there that does as much as it does.
I love that. Yeah. Well, I've just noticed too that there's so much more talk about it just because everyone's under so much more tension, especially with now lockdown, well, in LA going back down and everything like that. So everyone's just kind of indoors clenching all the time and just not feeling exactly super stoked about everything. So
yeah. And we know part of the reason we clench and grind is when you're worried, when your system goes through a mode of threat, that's when you start clenching. So a lot of us lost jobs, lack of financial stability, and I can
taking
imagine
care of your kids at your house the whole time. Yeah.
I can imagine the first month that we reopened after the COVID. I had many patients that they came for TMJ, but they had broken their teeth. They had fractured their molars, and they needed to get either root canals or crowns done, and I get it.
That's a lot. How much pressure does that? That seems like it would take.
It's a build-up pressure.
Oh, okay.
So it's like you have like micro hairline fractures, and it just builds up to a point that, and the majority of the clenching and grinding happens deep sleep. You sleep in your back. You already are tense when you go to sleep. You're worried. And then now when you sleep, your lower jaw is a movable jaw. The gravity drops it back. Now you have even more stress built into your body. Your airway collapses, oxygen desaturates, and now it's a snowball.
I was gonna say, well, does it affect your sleep then?
You're not even sleeping.
Oh.
So that's why we're waking up more tired. That's why the line for coffee shops is even longer, mm-hmm. because the quality of sleep is not good.
Okay. No, that's interesting to think that like your daily stress, like you're not even gone with it, you know what I mean? Like you still have to deal with it even when you're asleep, and it makes it worse too.
Absolutely.
It's just crazy that you can actually break your teeth. Is it common? Is it like something
it's
that
very common.
How could like
So I treat TMJ, right?
Yeah, right.
TMJ is temporomandibular joint disorder, and that's a disorder that when the lower jaw is not in the proper position in relation to the upper jaw or the brain, it puts pressure on the neurovasculature to the brain. And I forgot to see if I have that photo that we always show. I think I moved it.
Is it in this one?
Yeah, it's for sure in this one too, but I don't know how big it is. Oh, maybe it is.
Oh, there you go.
So I'm gonna bring this up close. So we've got the lower jaw and the upper jaw is fixed. If the lower jaw slightly tilts back due to accident, trauma, or even grinding and clenching, it compresses the blood supply to the brain and creates a sympathetic drive or a fight and flight and stress to the brain, and brain goes through a survival mode, which means it's not going to be able to relax. The survival mode is just to get you to survive. You're not getting blood to your brain. What am I going to do to stay alive?
Gotcha.
I'm going to either clench and hold your jaw so it doesn't fall back when you're asleep, or I'm going to keep moving it so that I can get some release
Gotcha.
during the sleep. So there's a lot of people that had, in old days we thought, oh, we are stressed, that's why we clench. If we don't stress, we don't clench. It doesn't work like that.
Right.
You don't choose if you're stressed or not. A lot of times the stress comes from a higher power. When it's worried, it puts the system through the stress, and automatically you think you're depressed, you think you're have anxiety, and if you just move that lower jaw forward and open up that circulation, you could actually reduce a lot of that stress.
You know what's funny is that whenever I notice that, like, anything having to do with either jaw tension or like my head or like that, I've actually started to do just moving it forward, and just what you taught me, where it's you move it forward just enough to be able to open up the pathways, and then take a deep breath.
Yes.
That does, and I actually did it with my girlfriend too, because
Oh
she
my
started
God.
getting a migraine,
Oh my
and I was like, stop. All you need to do is move your jaw forward a little bit, and then just take 3 deep breaths with her.
Good job.
Yeah, it actually, it's so hard to believe that it's something that simple can help you so like dramatically. It's really an interesting topic.
So when I have physicians in my practice, this is the 2-dimensional photo that we always show. Self-explanatory. Look what passes behind the lower jaw. There's a lot of neurovasculature that passes behind the lower jaw, and you are the body cannot, it's in a very, very, what Luca loves the word, stability and equilibrium and balance. The body is in that balanced state. If it becomes imbalanced is when we have all of our ailments. That is true about our endocrine system, all the hormones regulations, and it goes to anywhere to when it feels like the blood's not going up and down to the brain, it feels the same thing. So what BLA does, it's when we started making the belly lip appliance, it was to beautify you, to give you a natural enhancement so that you have a lifted cheekbones, bigger lips, and you have clinical study to prove that, and defined jawline. But as in a minute Luca's going to show you, the belly lip appliance has a resistant band around the loop away from the arms. And this resistance was perfectly designed to give you that exact workout that your musculature in your face needs to be lifted, yet doesn't create any threat or disorder or create lock jaw or any sort of TMJ, myofascial pain. But we learned that when we're doing this exercise, one specific one that Luca is going to demonstrate is when he's working out his upper lip and his lower lip, and this exercise will define the jawline if he moves his lower jaw slightly toward me when he's closing the arms. See, now we got the lower jaw tilted forward, we're holding, taking a deep breath in. So while he's holding and taking deep breath in, we've got the circulation to the brain opened up, and the brain feels, I'm getting food, I'm getting oxygen, I'm getting supplement. Now I can actually open up the vasculature, and there's blood to the brain, and it doesn't feel threat. It reduces the anxiety. It not only works out your lips and your jawline, but also treats TMJ. There's not enough studies on that, but it does help with TMJ. I'm seeing it on a daily basis with my patients. Now we're including that in patients with TMJ problems. For TMJ problems, Luca, when what we do usually a custom built orthotic that moves the jaw forward, 100% effective for TMJ, 100% effective for a migraine. We want to do a study, and we're starting it today right after the Amazon Live, to see if we gave migraine patients a belly lip appliance, which is only $85, and taught them how to exercise the right way to be able to get the temporomandibular joint de-stressed, how we could impact the migraine. And from just the short time of a year that we've been using belly lip appliance on our clinical studies back and forth with patients, we're learning that they are all reporting reduced jaw tension, reduced headaches, less snoring. And if you look at our before and after on blafit.com, you see these people are not Photoshop. They're all real people that we had a professional photographer with a professional company did the clinical study. And if you just look at the differences, you have this transformation of natural beauty, yet these people feel better. It's not just the aesthetic part of the results of the belly lip appliance, but it also helps feeling good,
Yeah.
reducing stress, taking that headache out of the way. And we are starting our clinical study today, and hopefully that will publish. And I can certainly tell you that it treats migraine. But for now, we can't.
No, that's the one thing that I've noticed so much is like I said it already, but it's just being able to notice when you are feeling that like tension. Or like even like in your stomach when you're feeling that knot almost.
Mm-hmm.
You'd use this, and then you can almost it's not lightheadedness, but it's just it's
Yes.
blood going back to your brain. But it's like
you know what I mean.
But it's like when you stand up too fast and you're like, ooh. Because you can tell when all the blood is going back into your head, it's just like, oh, okay, that's what it's supposed to feel like. Because you can just feel everything going back to and just like flushing through you almost.
Absolutely. So then you've had my experience.
Yeah, unfortunately, but yeah.
So that is true. Luca just told you, if you do the exercise, it's face yoga with resistance. And if you add the breath in when you close or open, doesn't matter, whichever you're comfortable. I'm gonna have Luca go through a full 3 cycles of the horizontal exercise, which lift up the corner of the lips, and we'll do some lifting at your cheekbones. I want Luca to hold the tip of the appliance so that you guys could learn it the right way. As you do this more and your muscles become stronger, you may not need to hold the appliance, but I just recommend it for the beginners. Hold the tip. He's going to move his the side of his lips together, and he's going to take a breath in. And we're going to let that arm open your lips and just breathe out and deflate. And let all the stress leave while you're doing this workout. We're going to do that. Perfect. Hold. Take a deep breath in. Good. And then I want you to hold it if you can, 5 to 10 counts. Because now you're letting your brain to feel the exercise. And then the last one, so you want to do about 30 seconds horizontal, 30 seconds vertical. We're going to, for the sake of time, stop here. Now this is the real science. The arms open up naturally to the perfect maximum opening. So when he's opening the jaw with closing the arms with his lips, he's going to move his lower jaw forward so that he could treat his TMJ and define his jawline. But once he wants to go back open, he's going to let the lips open up with the arms, the maximum opening, just like that. And he's going to breathe out. And then again, upper lip and lower lip forwarding, yes. And he's going to take a breath in if he forgot, and then holds it a few counts, and then he's going to open up and let that arm open up. As you can see, this helps my patients with their locked jaw. I teach them how to unlock with this. It's an incredible time right now in my life, because I've been treating patients with TMJ for 27 years, and unfortunately it's an expensive process. And I want to do it for free, but it costs, these orthotic that we make patients, they're custom built, they cost anywhere from $28 is the cheapest, $2,800, up to $5,400. Mm-hmm. And for sleep apnea, it's $7,200 currently are orthotics to treat sleep apnea. But if this is going to do a lot of that job, that would be fantastic for countries that they don't have access to medical care. People that have migraine. Imagine how many people have migraine around the world. We know that you did the aesthetics for our talk, that it's over 40 some million. Do you remember?
Yeah, it's right here. Hold on.
It's in US alone.
Yeah, in US alone, it's sleep apnea is 43 million, migraine is 39 million. So basically 40 million. And that's reported, by the way.
Yeah, so that means
who knows how many actually people are suffering from it.
Over 70 million people in US suffer from some sort of a headache or migraine. And I will promise you, it's less than 5% have brain tumors. The more than 95%, day in and out, if they've done their MRI and they've done this CAT scan and they don't have any tumor, it is coming from this impingement area. I guarantee you, we work with a lot of medical doctors here. Migraine is 100% treatable in our office without medication. Again, it's done with expensive orthotics, but it works. If I had migraine, I'll try anything, right?
Right.
But
That amount
we're
of pain,
saying
yeah.
that this exercise, the jaw movement, holding, if we can start doing with our migraine study today, we're recommending 2 to 3 times a day. And I'm going to let the patients know that if a migraine is coming and they feel it's coming, they get the signals to start doing the BLA exercise. And we're going to train them that there's no harm to do this excessively. It's like somebody's obsessed with their body and they do workouts a lot.
Yeah.
Your muscles not going to expand to look like the arm muscles. They're small. They have a maximum plumping effect, and it's just a daily maintaining that neurovasculature, the facial muscles,
And we got a question like that recently. Remember, I texted you about it. It was on YouTube. We got a question that she was asking about the specific muscles that masseters, and she was asking if they were going to get bigger. And that's a very good question when you think about it, because you work out your muscles, you're expecting them to get bigger. But the thing is that this isn't to get bigger, and that's not really even possible, I don't think. These muscles are so small that the point is with this kind of device is to define. That's the whole point, is to define and strengthen it so your skin looks firmer.
Lift it. So
and lift it. Exactly. Yeah.
And just so you know, because I had another question from somebody in our online, asked the same question that she said, I clench and I have these big clenching masseters. I don't want this to get better. Is it bigger? Is this going to do that? I said, no, absolutely not. Because all the stuff that's out there for you to put in your mouth, you're exerting pressure inward to be able to get it activated. It's a different way of activation. With those exercises, let's say you put a big ball in your mouth and you're clenching on, you're actually affecting your masseters. You're actually activating your masseters to be able to make that clenching, grinding. We're not doing that action. In fact, our mouth doesn't ever close all the way. Our jaw is opened up in all 2 exercises. We're not bringing teeth together. The moment the teeth touch is when we're looking at masseter to be able to be starting to be activated. So no, absolutely not. This exercise will not make your face more square. It will balance your face. It activates different type of muscle. We have over 50 muscles. Masseter is just one. It activates other muscles, so we're actually declenching. We're not clenching. With this exercise, you're doing the opposite of clenching. And you could feel the muscles are not doing this. You're not activating the deep masseters in any of the exercises.
Right, and it's a common theory that to build muscle, you just have to keep grinding into it, and with your face, you don't need to do that. Your face is very sensitive. You need to treat it that way, and this is why this is so much more accurate,
more precise.
More precise way of exercising your face rather than just brute force. This is more.
Yeah, you can put anything. You can put a big apple in your mouth and clench on it. You will make something bigger, and that would be 100% your masseters, and it makes your face just muscle just pop out by your jawline. That's not what we want. What we're doing is de-stressing, relaxing the muscles while we're lifting it. So the exercises we do, both of them, have the teeth apart as we're doing it. I want one more time, if I wish I could get a close look at your mouth. Would we be able to get this closer? There we go. So I'm gonna have you sideways so they can see. We're activating in the vertical exercise, which is the most important exercise. We're activating the upper and lower lip muscles to do all the job, including when he moves his lower jaw forward. See, there's no activation here. It's activation here. The main activation comes from the digastrics, the upper and lower lip muscles, hold and then relax. And when he brought the lips together, the teeth did not touch to each other. We want to have the teeth apart. When you put the teeth apart, you're not activating the masseter, you're not working the masseter. Maybe all the muscles get activated, erected a little bit because the body is trying to figure out what's going on with this exercise, but they're not working them out. They're not pumping them up.
Right.
But I can just easily say the exercise devices that are out there, unfortunately, there's no science behind it. There is nobody that treats TMJ, no doctor that treats facial structure, came to the creation of that. They're usually trainers, body trainers, or some people, just businessmen out there that bring up these products. It's not done by doctors. So you're getting a device made by 2 doctors and an aircraft engineer that designed it precisely. We changed the resistant arms several times. We had bigger loop, we had smaller loop, we defined it. These nylons that are made on this product are BPA free, and when you work out that muscle, you're actually doing something with a safe product in your mouth. Yesterday I had a patient that needed a sleep appliance. He's a young man, probably 3 or 4 years younger than you, a year older than my daughter, and he says, I don't want BPA in my mouth.
Gotcha.
And this is a new thing. You don't want BPA in your mouth. Trust me, if you're going to keep it in your mouth all the time and work out like I do with my BLA appliance, you don't want anything that's unsafe. The colors are all FDA approved. It's made in USA. I'm proud to say that. It's somewhere made that I can be looking at. There's regulations. I can be supervising it. It's right here in California.
In Los Angeles.
In Los Angeles. And I know the company because they made orthotics for me for mouth before. And it's a molding company that's safe, effective for things that goes in intraoral. And I just feel good about it. I don't want this product to be made in another country where I don't know what's made. I don't know the resistance. Anything that looks like this doesn't mean it's this. So this product that comes from blafit.com, it is going to I guarantee you will have it 2, 3, 4 years before you see any fracture lines. We've done a study on that through a machinery that they did it 1 second at a time, and the machine is much stronger than our mouth, and 400,000 times after we saw some fracture lines on some parts of it. 400,000 times. That's a lot of times.
That's a lot of BLA.
That's a lot of BLA, and hopefully that lasts you 5, 6 years before you even have to think about renewing it. I still have mine that was one of the prototypes. It's in my house, it's clear, and it still works, and the resistance doesn't reduce in any way.
I love that. Yeah, I mean, even if someone tried to recreate this, there's no way it would last. There's no way, and especially with the tension. The tension. This tension is so specific.
Yes.
Like the more I learn about it, the more I'm like, to try and recreate this would be so difficult for anyone.
Yes,
I really feel
because it looks simple.
Right.
But the arms thickness, as you can see, you have more transparent here and darker here.
Right.
The arm thickness was prototyped at least 10 times before we got that perfect tension, that when you use it on a patient that has jaw issue, it doesn't create jaw pain. It actually releases the muscles. And if you have clicking jaw, we talked about it last time, you never need to hear the clicking when you do the exercise. In order to know if you're doing it right or wrong, if you're here clicking when you do it, you're doing it wrong. You're not forward in your lower jaw enough on the vertical exercise to be able to get the best maximum of it.
Yeah, that's one thing I notice is just now that it's completely gone, it's whenever I hear it's not, I wouldn't say clicking anymore. It's a like a crunch, like a crunching, almost like when you
friction.
When you crunch chips together. That's how I would describe it. And I'm like, well, okay, and I know what to do. I know what I need to do now, and it's helped me just with. And just having the awareness of knowing what to do, like, oh, I'm having I have a headache, or I'm like clenching my jaw a lot. I didn't have like really good sleep last night. Why is that? More than likely it has to do with this. Yeah. Like every single time.
Yeah.
Every single time.
Our practice is almost 100% of patients come in with migraine headache. We take a CBCT. It is a TMJ. There is a reduction in space back here, and all we do is create that space. And with exercising like bellow lip appliance, if you're trained by one of our technicians, and that is complimentary given to you, your packaging includes a bellow lip appliance, a package of an oil called Sacha Inchi oil. We call it bellow lip serum. That is itself another half an hour to talk about, and that comes to you complimentary, plus a 5 minutes with me today. If you buy, I'm able to fit through my schedule for 5 minutes in my daily life to teach you, because for me, teaching has always been the most important element. If I didn't have the teaching added to this product, you wouldn't know what to do with it. And just closing and opening, it creates some sort of attention and exercise, but you're not getting the maximum benefit. I want to teach you how to do it so that the first time you and I doing it on FaceTime or Zoom, you say, I feel the exercise. Oh, I feel the relaxation. So that's what you're getting. You're buying, your package is buying me for a few minutes, buying oil and a product that's going to last you for a few years to give you natural beauty, reduces anxiety and tension in your facial structure, as well as helps you with your TMJ issues and clenching.
Perfect. I think that's a perfect way to stop right there. Well, thank you guys for joining us again. This was actually really fun. And
Yes,
thank you again, Dr.
Thank
Mariam,
you.
for joining
Thank
me.
you.
And everyone, I hope you guys have a great day.
Have a great